Good evening and welcome to the City of Woodstock's public planning meeting. Tonight's meeting is an open public meeting as required by the Planning Act. This meeting will be live streamed to the city's YouTube channel, and a recording of the meeting will also be posted on the city's website following the meeting. An agenda of the meeting can be found on the Agendas, Meetings, and Minutes page of the city's website. This meeting is for information and discussion purposes only, and no decisions will be made this evening. Council will make a decision on these matters at the regular council meeting to be held this Thursday. If you wish to address council at that meeting, you must submit a delegation form to the city clerk no later than 2 p.m. on Tuesday. A delegation form is available on the city website. Appeals, only the applicant, the minister, or a specified person or public body that has an interest in the matter may, within 20 days of council's decision, file an appeal with the Ontario Land Tribunal. Please keep your comments to planning matters only and avoid repeating comments that have already been expressed. If you have not provided oral or written comments but wish to receive formal notice of council's decision on the matter, please contact the clerk's department. The notice will provide further information on appealing the decision. The planner will be asked to present the planning report for each application. The applicant will then be provided an opportunity to make comments, followed by those wishing to speak in favor of the application, and then followed by those wishing to speak in opposition to the application. Prior to proceeding with the first application, does anyone wish to declare a pecuniary interest on any items that are on tonight's agenda? Seeing none. So we'll begin. So ZN 823, let me start that again. ZN 8-23-14, application for zone change, Houseworth 132 Dover Street. I'll now ask Mr. Gilbert, the planner, to provide a presentation on the application.
Thank you. This is a zone change application to rezone the property from R1 to R2 to allow for the construction of a semi-detached dwelling on the subject property. The property is located on the west side of Dover Street between Walter Street and Parkinson Road, and is known as 132 Dover Street in the city of Woodstock. There's existing semi-detached dwelling that's been damaged by fire, and it's intended that that will be removed and replaced with these new semi-detached dwellings. Staff note that based on the applicant sketch, the semi-detached dwellings would maintain the provisions of the R2 zone, and staff have no concerns about compatibility as there are a mix of housing types in the area. As such, staff recommend the application be approved.
Thank you, Mr. Gilbert. Any questions from council? Seeing none, I will now call on the applicant or representative to make comments. And if you can just state your name and address, please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Burke, 310 Finkel Street, Woodstock, Ontario. And I really just wanted to add some context if anybody had any questions with respect to the streetscape. Eric, I don't know if I sent kind of a photo of the front elevation. I don't know if you got it. I sent it through, I think I just sent it to the planning. Okay, it's a very kind of a simple, elegant two-story pair of semis. Mrs. Houseworth is planning on building that. She's going to occupy one and her son is going to occupy the other. So just a good creative use of family to, you know what I mean, to make housing more affordable and just to increase. It's a huge lot and it's a really nice kind of grade away from the home. So it'll be a nice walkout. So they'll fit really nicely. And yeah, so I just wanted to be here to answer any questions if anybody wanted to have a little bit more context. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from council? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will now call on anyone in favor of the application. Seeing none, I'll now call on anyone against the application. Okay, proceeding to the next one. So ZN 8-23-12, application for zone change 12065568 Canada Inc., 29 Clark Street. And again, I'll call on the planner, Mr. Gilbert, to provide a presentation on the application.
Thank you. The purpose of this application is to amend the C1 zoning on the property to a special C1 zoning to permit a business and professional office on the subject property. The existing building will be repurposed and renovated for the proposed office use. There was a convenience store use historically in the subject property, but the building has been vacant for some time. The property is at the northwest corner of Clark and Nellis Street. And although it's designated residential, it is zoned local commercial zone. Local commercial zones are permitted in residential areas, provided that they serve the local area and neighborhood. In this instance, planning staff have no concerns with the proposed use, as the site is quite close to Dundas Street, which has service commercial uses. And the business office use will be a good reuse of the existing building. The property is large enough to provide any required parking. And staff recommend the application be approved.
Terrific, thank you. Are there any questions from council? Seeing none, I will now call up the applicant or representative to make comments, and if you can just state your name and address, please.
Hello, Cassandra Bernard, 226 Clark Street North here in Woodstock. I am, just to give context, this zone change would be to accommodate a personal insurance business and commercial insurance. And it's bringing a new business to Woodstock from out of town, an expansion of a business. So I think it's positive to do that. And it would be to accommodate a long-term lease as well. So wouldn't be looking at a constant switch over in a place that's been vacant for quite some time. So.
Thank you. Are there any questions from council? Seeing none, thank you very much. And I will now call up anyone in favor of the application. Seeing none, and I will now call up anyone against the application. Seeing none. Thank you very much, everyone. And I'll now call for a motion to adjourn. Councillor Wheaton, seconded by Councillor Wismer Van Meer. Thank you very much. Good night.
That's Martin.
Martin.